Welcome back to the channel, friends. As always, man, I'm super stoked and pumped up to see you. So Stoker here, and today I'm going to give you some standard and some situational board questions, some real ones that I bring into the board. This is the test. It's not the test, but it's kind of the test for ATP 6-22.1, which of course is our regulation concerning counseling. So if this is what you're into, make sure you subscribe to the channel, click that notification bell so you can stay up to date on some future content. And, you know, also make sure you get in and check out my board playlist. I have a ton of resources, mock questions, other ways for you to help prepare yourself or those who are in your charge get ready to go to the board and absolutely crush it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask the question, and then you can pause. I'll give you a little bit of pause so you can pause the video if you want to, and then you can answer, and then replay, and then I'll give you what the answer is. And then we're going to go into some situational questions. And these are where, and this is an area I think that, you know, a lot of young, especially junior soldiers and NCOs get kind of hemmed up by dudes like me, because I really want to know that you understand how to do a couple things, and counseling is one of them. So here we go. What is counseling? Right, so counseling is a process where a leader reviews the subordinate's demonstrated performance and potential. Performance and potential. What are the three major categories of developmental counseling? They are, of course, event, performance, and professional growth. So regardless of the purpose or topic of the counseling session, what should leaders follow? What is that process that leaders should follow? Right, so the basic format that leaders should follow is, of course, to prepare, execute, and follow up. What are the 7 examples of event-oriented counseling? All right, so this is a kind of a list-based answer, and of course the question could come across of what are the different types, what are the 7 examples, what describe some events that may need an event-oriented counseling. And so the list is superior or substandard performance, reception and integration counseling, crisis counseling, referral counseling, promotion counseling, transition counseling, and adverse separation counseling. So depending on how you're asked the question will dictate on how you answer that question, right? What ensures that the subordinate knows and consistently achieves the standard? And that's corrective training, which you have to remember, right? So NCOs can't give punishment, right? Only commanders can issue punishment. All we can do as NCOs is give corrective training. To be effective counselors, leaders must have what 3 basic counseling skills? It's active listening, responding, and appropriate questioning. What does a plan of action identify? Right, so the plan of action is a realistic set of goals, and it should normally be kept down to just a minimum, things that are actually can be achieved during the time that we expect the next counseling and that follow-up for this counseling to be completed. It could be professional, it could be personal. And what they're used for is to monitor process. All right, everybody, so there's a few basic questions. Now we're going to move into some situational questions, which is not going to leave so much time to pause the button, if you will, but you're just going to have some open dialogue about counseling. All right, so let's say you have a soldier who shows up late for work and is demonstrating an overall poor attitude. And during the counseling process, the soldier refuses to sign your counseling. What is your response? How do you deal with that? Dude didn't want to sign his counseling. Right? What's going on here? So, a couple things to always remember when you're providing an answer, especially an answer like this that deals with some substandard performance. There's always some things that are always going to be part of the answer. And we'll get to that here in just a second. So if a soldier refuses to sign, it's no big deal. You put SM, refuses to sign. That service member refuses to sign on the counseling. And that's it. You file it away. Now, depending on what else is going on and what the situation dictates, we'll initiate some other movement from yourself. So the other piece that almost always needs to be part of your answer is you're going to inform your supervisor. So if you're a team chief, you're going to let your section sergeant or your squad leader know what kind of issue that you're having with this soldier. If you're a section sergeant, you're going to talk to platoon sergeant. If you're platoon sergeant, you're going to talk to your first sergeant. Because people need to be made aware of issues or areas of friction within the organization. You're not necessarily passing the buck. You're just making them aware of the actual situation and what's going on. Now, this soldier may need another counseling to go along with this. And it would be an event-oriented counseling for demonstrating a poor attitude and lack of good order and discipline. Things of this nature. And then maybe that's forwarded to the commander for action. A new soldier is assigned to your team. How do you counsel that soldier? So here we're talking about an initial reception and orientation counseling. We're talking about how do we integrate soldiers. And it's super important. So when I talk about wanting to integrate a soldier into my unit, I think about, obviously I'm thinking about sponsorship. And I'm thinking about that welcome packet that I sent out. And in that welcome packet is the counseling from me. It's also things about our unit, about our area, some goals and bucket list, if you will, of things that people can do when they come here to the Northwest. And these are the types of things that I need you to counsel your soldiers on. I need you to tell them about your unit. What makes your unit great? What makes them set apart? What's the battle rhythm, both daily, weekly, and monthly, that they can expect? How are we dealing with everything that's going on? Where are we going for PT? Where's the DFAC? Where's medical? Where's the TMC? Where's our Soldier Support Center? Where's the Education Center? What are some different standards and regulations that we have in us? What are the things that are required to be on me at all times? But I don't need you just to stop there. I need you to also tell them about what the organization has to offer them. What does the installation have to offer them, whether they're married or single? Right? What can you offer that soldier? What can they expect of you? We often talk about what do we expect of that soldier? But what we also need to get through to them is what that soldier can expect of us. And we're not done yet. We need to spend some time talking about that soldier. Where are you from? What's your family like? Oh, you're the middle child. You're the oldest child. You had no siblings. You're married with 5 kids and 1 on the way. And you're only 20 years old. There's all kinds of crazy stories out there. I have a whole book full of them. But you need to help identify these things because there are areas of friction that you may have to help that soldier out. So talk story with the soldier. Don't just tell the story to the soldier. You're preparing your monthly performance counseling. What is the first thing that you should do? What are some other steps that you might want to do to prepare for a quality counseling session? So the first thing that I do, that I need you to do when you're preparing for a performance counseling, for that monthly counseling, right? Is take out the last one. Maybe it's on day 15. It's part of your battle rhythm. Hey, First Sergeant, on day 15, I pull out last month's performance-oriented counseling. And I start reviewing all the things that we talked about and the plan of action. And I look to make sure that things are moving in the right direction for the rest of the month. And then on day 20, I tell that soldier, hey, on the 28th of this month, we're going to meet in our conference room, and I need you to bring to the table some things about this month. and some goals that you have for next month. You also just came back from TDY, so I want you to bring your LES. Go and bring a copy of your SRB and your PPW. So we can have a good, long conversation about what you need to do and how you need to progress moving forward. And on that day when they come in, the very first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to have the soldier's counseling packet, and we're going to take out last month's counseling, we're going to review it, and we're going to close it out. It's crazy, right? But that's part of the process. We have to finish last month's counseling before we start this one. Doing all this, what you told me was that you notified the soldier in advance, you prepared, you told them what to bring, you started to bring stuff to the table, and now you can actually sit down and start to initiate equality counseling. You're preparing to conduct an event-oriented counseling for a soldier who just failed the APFT. Now, the APFT is no more, so that's just how I had this answer questioned here. But it could be the ACFT, it could be ABCP, it could be any standard failing that we have here. Describe what you must advise that soldier about continued performance. So anytime that we have substandard performance, whether it's our own goals or the Army's regulation, we have to advise the soldier about what it means to move forward and what they can expect from the Army. And as you are the first line NCO, you are the Army to that soldier. So substandard performance cannot be tolerated, right? Continued substandard performance may result in adverse action. It could result in administrative action. It could result in punitive or non-punitive action. It could change the characterization of the discharge for that service member, which may impact benefits, including education and medical, as well as VA. Right, so that soldier needs to understand and know that they need to have a good plan for how to get better, because that soldier may be flagged based off of the event, and they need to know what they can do to overcome it. And if they are being flagged, then they should have a counseling specific for that flag. That's not an event-oriented counseling for that event per se. It's a counseling that's going to be signed by that soldier that says, I understand that there's I'm suspended from all favorable action. And it's due to this reason. And along with that is a 268, which would all be accompanied with the your counseling for that event, and or a 5500 or a 5501 or whatever supporting documents that there are to actually accompany that and go to S1 so that the service member can be flagged. Right, so these are the types of questions that you can expect on a promotion board when it comes to counseling. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, make sure you leave something down in the comment section below, and I'll answer back to you. We'll just keep this conversation rolling. If you enjoyed the content of it, make sure you like it, subscribe to the channel, and click that notification bell so you can stay up to date on some future content. And as always, until then, you stay out there and you keep on grinding.